This is my 2016 Subaru WRX Premium. By the time you see this video, a new chapter on MDTV would have already started and this WRX would already be gone. This was my first sports car. It was my first manual car and I've learned so much during my ownership of this car and I've had so much fun while owning this car. I bought this car off a 64-year-old man. I had to drive 2 hours up north to go and buy it. He looked after it. It was in pristine condition, and since I took over it, I've kept that going. The car looked very different when I bought it compared to what it looks like now, and it sounds and performs very differently compared to what it was when I first got it. I want to walk you around the car, briefly tell you about my experience with the Subaru WRX and why I'm moving away from this platform. I'm also going to go for one last drive through the Royal National Park through this all-wheel drive beast, and we're going to talk about how it performs in the habitat that it was made for. Now, every angle of this car looks ridiculously good. I love the quad tailpipes. I love this giant wing that I've put on it. I've also got some wet spot that do have a special paint job that are color shifting. Lowered on MCA suspension. The car handles and looks great. You could probably tell that I went for an OEM plus kind of look. That's because I think this car looks really good the way it is. During my ownership and during the course of running this YouTube channel, I've met so many people. I've learned so much about cars, mechanicals, suspension, tuning. I've learned so much during my ownership of this. I've learned so much about driving a manual and how to properly drive a car and finding the limits of a car. This car was my tool for becoming a better driver. I went on a few track days with this car. I had so much fun and I built up my confidence. No matter how hard I drove this car always outdrove me. My confidence and my driving ability could not outmatch this car. It's never let me down. Contrary to the negative stigma around Subaru's reliability, I've not had an issue with this car. It's been perfect. All of the issues I've had are me installing crap parts on it, which I have since taken off. I've made so many friends and I've met some of the best people during my ownership of this Subaru. I've also welcomed a few partnerships on the channel, supporting the channel and the progress of this car. Most notably, MCA Suspension have been a long-term supporter, and currently this sits on a set of MCA Pro Streets. They performed perfectly. There's not much else to say about this car. Every YouTuber has already said everything that I would say about this car already. But why am I selling it? Well, I bought this for a very good price back in 2020 and something else has caught my eye. A few other things have caught my eye during this ownership. It wasn't enough for me to switch, mainly due to the pricing. The Alfa Romeo Giulia is something that's caught my eye for a while, and recently the prices have gone down a lot. Now, it makes sense for me to swap because I can sell this for almost at the same cost that I bought it for. Although the mods and the parts that I've put on it haven't increased its value, these are getting pretty hard to sell. This particular model is almost 9 years old, and if I can sell a car after owning it for 5 years for a very similar price to what I paid for it, I want to do it. And with that money, if I can move sideways and not have to put more money in to get my next car, then I'm going to do it. I've done so many road trips with this. It's been an absolute blast. It's been bloody perfect. Perfect. Let's go for one last drive through the mountains. Go for one last run in the Royal National Park, which I love with this car. The MCA suspension do so well, and through the mountains is where this car really belongs. So I've got the full turbo back exhaust on this. I'm still running the stock intake. I do have the Process West Verticooler, which is much needed. This is tuned to about 190 kilowatts and a ton of torque from MSR in the Central Coast. I have a lot of confidence driving this car. I've never felt like I was ever in danger, no matter how dumb I am, no matter how hard I throw this through the corners, or no matter how hard I push this through the rain, through the snow, on track, raining on track. My gosh, this car has been absolutely perfect. Some downsides to the car: this gearbox is absolute crap. It feels really crap. The throws are so long, and it definitely does not match the STI. The all-wheel drive drivetrain is nowhere near as good as the STI either. The open diffs in the Rexy compared to the LSDs in the STIs let this down severely. However, on the road, apart from the shifting throw, you really don't feel the difference. I love the equal length headers, or I love the sound of the twin scroll turbo and the equal length headers on this car. Personally, I'm not a fan of the STI rumble. That's not why I didn't buy one. I just couldn't afford one at the time. I still can't afford one, but I reckon this sounds so good with the NVIDIA turbo back exhaust. Here I'm going to do a downshift, and might I say, the pedal placement for downshift in the Rexy and the STI, perfect. The seating position, not so much. Now the worst thing about this car for me is the seating position. I feel like I'm sitting on the car and not in the car. I feel like I'm sitting on a milk crate, and the seating position has been my #1 gripe since the first day that I got it. Beautiful. The downshifts on this is crazy. I don't have a crackle tune, but just on the downshifts, it sounds so good. And the turbo whistle from the downpipe, the J-pipe, it sounds like it's got a T51R mod. Not as loud, but it's just the stock turbo. I'm on stock headers, stock turbo, but it sounds this good. Handles beautifully. Doesn't miss a beat. I can throw it through the corner without any brakes. And it just sticks. Here I just brake a little bit, let go on the apex, brake on the straight, let go on the apex, and it's bloody hell. The car is handling so well, and it's so smooth. The power delivery and the way this is tuned, I'm gonna miss it a lot. Here's a nice bit of straight road. I wanna... like... pushing it through the corners is... it just holds on. Like this one here. So good. So this is it for the WRX. Quite emotional saying goodbye to this. I've made so many memories in this. My girlfriend hated this at first, but slowly she warmed up to liking this car. It's got so much character, it's been so much fun. The all-wheel drive handles so well. It's such a capable car, and future owner, I hope you enjoy this car and I hope you take care of it. So here it is, my 2019 Alfa Romeo Giulia Veloce. I've already done a deep dive or review on this car in my previous video, which I'll link up right over there. This couldn't be any more different than the WRX. Rear-wheel drive, sports luxury, very well refined, auto, very different. Now I've had this for a little bit over a month now. I'm liking this a lot more than I had expected. At first I was scared of losing the engagement feeling because it's not a manual, but the ZF gearbox in this, I don't know how to explain it. When you press the paddle shifters, you can feel the gears change. You can feel the connection between the shifters and the gearbox. So it's still quite engaging. The steering ratio is just so fast. You give it a little bit of input and the car just darts in that direction. It feels so much more nimble than the WRX, but the only thing I don't like about the steering is that it feels really light. It's completely electronic. It's too light. I'd love it to be a little bit more heavy, and I don't know if that's possible through tuning. That's the only problem I have with the steering. Now, like I said, the biggest problem I had with the Rexy throughout my ownership is the seating position, and this fixes it. My hips are so much lower, my legs are so much higher, and it feels so much more racy. I feel like I'm sunken into the car, and these sport seats are so bloody comfortable as well. Another thing that's really interesting about this car is the suspension geometry and setup. At the rear, there's multi-link rear suspension, and at the front, it's wishbone suspension. The way it's mounted to the chassis, it's mounted or it's bolted to the chassis at an angle and not straight on like normal sports cars and normal cars. And this angled suspension setup allows the car to adjust the camber or to adjust the angle of the wheels when you're going through corners really quickly to maximize grip, and you can really feel it when you're punching it through the mountains. I haven't taken this to the track yet, but I would love to take this to the track to see what it feels like. But so far, even on stock suspension, it feels far superior to the WRX. The only thing I liked more about my WRX are the stiffer coilovers from MCA. It is really hard to get aftermarket suspension for this because it is adaptive. Now this also has Ackerman steering, which means when you go full lock one way, the inner wheels turn more or have more of a steering angle compared to the outside wheel, and that helps turn in a much sharper way. And you can definitely feel it. I thought I was gonna regret the decision of buying this and getting rid of my WRX. I do miss the Rexy, but I don't regret this at all. It's bloody beautiful. And for the price that you can get into one of these at the moment, I got into this for 34.5K. And for something that costs 70K brand new down to the mid 30s, I think this is a no-brainer. The stock tune on the engine is plenty quick, plenty zippy, and it is a really good all-rounded car. I can't not mention the looks. Best looking car on the market, and you'd be lying to me if you told me that this is not a really good looking car. For the first time, I've got customized number plates. Again, the full video and the full review of this car is up on the link over there. In a few months, I'll do an update on this car, what I've learned about this car, and more cool features about this car. For the time being, please like and subscribe. I've got a lot more planned for this car. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.